Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. If you guys get just a second before we get started, please hit that subscribe button below and the bell notification icon next to it. Bell notification icon will let YouTube know you're a human who's interested in EDC and knife content. It'll alert you when I release new videos, and it'll really help the channel. Today I wanted to kind of give my long-term overview review of my latest EMP EDC blade show acquisition, the Relative. The Relative is a medium-sized knife. I would say it's a full medium. Has a Magnacut blade, really nice jimping, nice compound grind on this Bowie style clip point blade, where you've got this deep hollow grind from the swedge down, and then you've got the compound flat up at the front. Very sharp, almost when you look at it configured like a Tanto, because you do have this distinct point down here at the blade intersection between that hollow and that flat. But that was the first thing that really attracted me to this knife at the table when I was talking to John and Jamie and Cole and Kara. But the Magnacut, I love the milling that Bestech did on this particular round of knives. I'll show you in a little while some of the other EMP EDC knives I have in my collection, but this one, without doubt, has been the most impressive, the most carried out of the gate, and one that I can tell that I'm really, really going to enjoy. It is a front flipper, so you've got the front flipping deployment that works very, very well, no matter how you want a front flip. As you guys know, I'm not a big fan of front flippers, but that doesn't mean I'm not glad that it's there. Does not have a back flipper, but it does have this real nice deployment hole and this fuller that runs up the length of the blade. So you can really get the blade anywhere, anywhere you're comfortable, and it's going to fly out. I failed it with my finger there, but it's a nice, narrow, pill-shaped hole, just a nice oval. Your finger's not going to go through it. If you like thumb flicking, this knife thumb flicks like a dream. It has ergos that I think put it ahead of the EMP EDC. Well, a couple of EMP EDCs we'll look at in a second. But I've got this regular grip that gives me a full four-finger grip. And then I've got this choked up grip into this finger choil. The jimping allows me to move my finger up, and I can basically hold this knife in one of many different configurations. I mean, there's not a bad grip on this knife, even to the Slurpee saver, as Lefty would say. You know, you can put a good Slurpee saver 7-Eleven gas station knife grip on there. But yeah, this has been just a really impressive knife that when I first saw it, when it was first released, I liked the look of it, but I didn't see enough different about it, not knowing, and QSP does a fantastic manufacturing job. I'm not taking anything away from them, just differences, unique differences that I was able to feel and experience in this knife just really made me appreciate it. Let me see if I can find some paper over here. I've got a packing slip so you guys can see how well it cuts. That's on the hollow. If we want to go up here to the flat. Let's cut an air, guys. Flat's very sharp. Hollow is extremely sharp. And just a really well balanced cutter that I think for an EDC knife, it's not a tiny EDC knife as we'll see, so I wouldn't say it's on the small size. I would put it kind of as a strong medium, you know. But it carries like a dream, goes in and out of pocket. That's where it came from before this overview without any trouble whatsoever. Really nice clip. This horizontal milling is, I just think, done very well. The grind on the hollow grind, I think, is done very well. The transition between that hollow and that flat look fantastic. You've got this stone wash fuller here that just looks awesome. I love the gold hardware. Kind of sets the knife off. So yeah, let's do a couple of quick size comparisons to get an idea of where this thing falls into knives we might be aware of. And let's look at it next to the Cold Steel 4-Max and the Civivi Baby Banter. It's going to be bigger than the Baby Banter. It's going to be smaller than the 4-Max. So let's look at it like some knives that we might carry on the EDC, like the Benchmade Bug Out. A little bit longer than the Benchmade Bug Out. Spyderco Paramilitary 2. It's going to be a little bit shorter than the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. And about a half, quarter inch bigger than the Benchmade Bug Out. So let's grab the Javon's Knife Flicks promotional free tape measure, get it to the inches side, and see what we're working with here. We're at a 7 3/4 inch knife, guys, with a 3.5 inch blade, right over a 4 1/4 inch, under a 4.5 inch handle. So between 4 1/4 and 4.5 inches on the handle. So yeah, and let's see if we can get these calipers centered out. Blade stock's going to be thick, but you've got that nice hollow grind, 0.149. And then down on the hollow, 0.0185 above the sharpening bevel, out at the tip, 0.0310 above the sharpening bevel. And then lastly, the handle, right under 1/2 inch at 0.496. So again, it feels great in my hand. The ergos are fantastic. The balance of this knife is great, right around this pivot here. Actually right behind the pivot. Feels super in the hand. It's a nice under 1/2 inch thin knife. It's got this gold anode backspacer with the number, the serial number inside there. You can, I don't know if you can see it in there, number 124. Falls shut. Flicks like a dream. Fantastic access to this bevel lock, frame lock access. The jimping, guys, it's done so well because you've got jimping regardless of where your grip's going to be on this knife, regardless of how you're using the knife. The jimping is just on point. The deployment hole's on point. And it doesn't surprise me because John's Designs is now, we'll look at this next to some other designs like the OG Nymble. And what I noticed there is the hole is a little bit more sharp and refined on the Bestech version. And again, I love this stonewash blade on the Nymble, but it has no comparison to this hollow grind here. Let's look at it next to the sheep's foot Nymble X, and you'll see that the relative comes in just a little bit smaller than that Nymble X. Again, you've got the stonewash blade here, you've got softer lines around your deployment hole, and you've got the frag pattern. The frag is really nice, guys. Don't get me wrong. As you know, the Nymble is one of my top 5 knives. I'm a fan of all my EMP EDC knives. So if I was going to look at the one that was made by Bestech before, you've got the Thick Boy here. This is the Thick Boy V1. And when I look at all of these knives together, even though there are different materials on the thick boy, I love the blade. I love the grind lines that you can see in that flat grind, and you can see that sharper edging around that larger hole. So this hole is a little bit larger in diameter than the relatives, but again, it's a fantastic knife. So just different. So when I look at the frag, which I really like, it has always been my favorite. That's why I recreated it when I got the Nymble X. But then I look at what we're doing now with some of this horizontal mill pattern, what I'm seeing in this Magnacut blade in terms of the detail of the belt grind. Um, Guys, it's just a fantastic knife. And I say this, I don't know when this video releases, they'll probably be sold out, but at the time this video is being recorded, there are some still in stock. They did a drop last Saturday, and there are a couple of configurations that you can still grab at EMP EDC site. I'll do some Instagram posts and some other things to make sure y'all know about that. I did one yesterday, but that's just kind of the timeline of when I'm getting this review out. But guys, I love it. I love the knife. Let's do a quick weight on it. .3. Again, feels like a knife, feels substantial in my hand, doesn't carry too heavy in my pocket. I think it's just a real winner. It is currently my favorite EMP EDC knife. I say currently because I'm going to scramble for a Ronin. I think that knife, after my buddy A to Z EDC picked one up over at Blade Show, and I will be bringing it here. He picked up his pre-order over at Blade Show. I should clear that up. He had a pre-order ordered, bumped into John. John and Jamie hooked him up with his pre-order, and he came home with it. And I have handled it. He's going to let me hang on to it for a couple of days and bring it to you as a review. But I'm hoping some of those become available, or we see another little drop. But guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank John and Jamie for being so hospitable over at EMP EDC's booth. They are fantastic people. They are definitely one of my favorite knife companies, not just in the products that they're bringing to market, the story with which they kind of got into the knife game, the catalyst that we'll say pushed John into this, and the success that they've had has been nothing short of well deserved and very trajectory. They're killing it, and I'm just so proud of them. I love their products. I'm sure you'll see a lot of them on this channel because I pick up a lot of their products. They're just one of my favorite type of designers that are doing what they do, and they're doing it well. They're making sure that they're in great communication with their OEMs, and their finished products show that. So anyways, guys, thanks again. I went on a ramble there, but John and Jamie Rusk, you guys are the best. I appreciate you. I appreciate your hospitality and your hangout over at Atlanta. Guys, if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the bell notification icon. If you want to like it or dislike it, it'd be great. If you want to leave a comment, love it. If you look out for the guy or gal to your left and look out for the guy or gal to your right, if you look out for each other, if you go forward with love in your heart, if you choose debate, not hate, that would be bueno. I love you all. Peace.